So now I'm going to pass the floor to the General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Elysia.
Okay, thank you. So we just go
for
right
the
on.
evaluation session.
Yeah, we just go right on to invite the first evaluator, Esmond, to evaluate Chu Eng Ping. Over to you.
A very good afternoon to all the fellow Toastmasters. So I'm here to evaluate Chu Ping's speech, which is her second speech in her Toastmaster journey. The speech purpose statement is to better understand the reason of the yearly zodiac reading in Chinese culture. So, in my opinion, I feel that your speech fulfilled the speech purpose statement. What I feel that you excel at is I feel that you are a very natural speaker. I feel that you look very confident when you giving your speech. I'm not sure whether if you're feeling nervous, but I didn't feel that you're nervous because your speech are very fluent. And the plus point is that you engage with the audience very well by preparing the zodiac chart, which I like. And I feel that your language are very simple and concise. It's easy for the listeners to listen. And I really enjoyed your speech. There are a few things that I want you to improve on in your next speech. Firstly is I suggest you to maybe sit further so that you can see your hand gestures. Because just now you have the hand gestures and some movement, but I can't really see very well. Maybe you can sit further a bit or maybe you adjust the screen so that we can see your hand gestures more. Something like that. Okay. Next is I feel that you may want to practice again before the actual day of your speech so that you can know the speech duration when you deliver your speech, because this time your speech overrun by 30 seconds. Okay, so to challenge yourself, so in your next speech, this one I wish to see that you have to sit further and to have more hand gestures and to keep it up the good work. So that's all my evaluation for you, Iping. So I'll pass back to the General Evaluator for today, Distinguished Toastmaster Elysia.
Thank you, Esmond. I understand when you give evaluation, you try to be positive, and then you try to be very nice, uplifting. But then there's a difference on when you're being so nice, and then suddenly that you really put her to the heaven, and then suddenly you throw her down. So this one is very difficult to juggle. I would suggest that you just say, instead I say I want you to improve on, because it's like, oh you're so good, so good, so good, so good, and then boom, okay. Maybe you say, I have a few suggestions for you to do better, to even do better. And I always believe one thing. I also noticed that a lot of people they lose interest for the meeting because they think they're good enough. Because in the meeting, everybody say I'm so good, I'm so good, I'm so good, so I don't have to come to the meeting. Or you don't give enough specific feedback for this person to really know how to improve. So when you don't give that specific, this person cannot improve, and then every time he come, so this person will lose interest. This is what I observe. A lot of people, they stop coming to the meeting mainly for these few reasons. Number one, they think they are good enough already. It's no big deal. Toastmaster, no big deal. Second, they didn't get specific help. Okay, so for this Yiping, I want to help you. Where's Yiping? Yiping, I would like to give you some additional feedback on top of our evaluator assessment. Is Yiping here? Okay, hi. First of all, we need to understand what is public speaking. A lot of people don't, you'll be surprised, they don't really understand. Public speaking is not only just sitting in front and speaking English. The first thing of public speaking is your voice to throw out. Okay? And especially when you are a speaker, you need to stand. You need to have body gesture. Be dramatic a little bit. Your vocal variety be up and down a little bit. So what happens is when you sit, it will be easy, very easily you talk very conversational, just like chit-chatting, not public speaking. Agree or not? So if you stand up as a speaker, your body gesture can open up, your voice can throw out, and you can be more dramatic. This is public speaking. Okay, And then in terms of your purpose, when assessment, you say you have achieved the objective. You didn't tell how. We need to tell the speaker how you have achieved, even for the audience to learn. Obviously, I didn't get your purpose. What is your purpose? The purpose is why do you want to talk about this topic? I didn't get why you didn't tell me why you want to talk about this topic, but I kind of figure out you want to share your belief with us. You can say, I want to talk about this topic because I want to share my belief in you. And this belief is very important, is to carry on our culture. Right or not? So now your purpose is very clear from the very beginning, right? And then the purpose and the message is also different. Message is something you want the audience to know, to take home. Then you can say that, don't underestimate these Chinese zodiac things. And I don't mean you should be superstitious and really believe in it. But there's a balance. I believe this thing can last for thousands of years, must have the value. Find the value, don't be blindly. This is your message. Correct now? So when we write speech, this is called effective communication. Effective communication is when you write your speech, you have to start from the end. Ultimately, what do you want to tell the audience? Ask yourself first, find the answer first, then you work backward, illustrate, explain. Right? Okay? I hope it helps you. Okay, let me invite the second evaluator, Suming, to evaluate Amira. Over to you.
Thank you, Elysia. Good afternoon to all. Amira, I enjoy your speech because I think the title of your speech, procrastination, is very common and is applied to all the audience because all of us will procrastinate somehow or other. So it actually relates to us on procrastination. You as a speaker, I think you are a natural speaker and you are confident during you speak. So I think in terms of the content is good, and you also bring in an example of yourself into this speech, whereby you also refer yourself to procrastinate during to prepare this speech. So in terms of content is good, but I would like to suggest some improvement to your speech. I think the part that I would like to explain on the improvement has been covered by Elysia just now, which is the purpose of this speech is to create vocal variety and body language. Let's take one at one time. Talk about body language. I would suggest that if you can stand up during your speech, it will be good, because by sitting down, you can't do much body language. Now, in our physical meeting, when we stand on the stage, we actually can move around. That is one of the body language approach, which is moving around purposefully, right? So in this speech, you should stand up during this speech so that we can see your movement, and this one can meet your requirement of your purpose of the speech, which is body language. I can see your hands gesture, but your hands gesture can improve more if you are away, just like me right now, so then we can see of your full hand gesture. Second thing is, even you sitting down, you can use the camera as the usage of the camera in one. How do you apply the body language is you can also move in front or behind purposefully to show that you are also into body language. This is one of the way, or you can move to the left or to the right if you decided to have a sit down to do your speech. This is my suggestion on your improvement. And I would love you to challenge yourself in two ways. One is put in vocal variety in your speech, because this is also part of your purpose of your speech. How do you do vocal variety is meaning to say, maybe when I give you an example, when you talk about yourself procrastinating, so you say, I keep on procrastinating the day after the day after the day, you bring in vocal variety instead of monotonous speech like giving an information. Now, second thing, my suggestion is you can challenge yourself in terms of use word of the day. Now, your procrastination is about timing. So you can say something like, in Chinese New Year, Chinese is very auspicious on timing in terms of their prayer, in terms of their gathering, things like that. You can bring in the words of the day. So all in all, I think you have a good speech, but just to need to demonstrate more about your speech to meet the purpose of the speech of today. Thank you. Back to you, Elysia.
Thank you. A good evaluation, number one, is uplifting, encouraging. And number two is specific. Specific in the sense you also, when you say something, for example, you say your content is good, then you have to explain why it's good. She explained because the content is relatable. So we all understand. Just hang up there. Your content is good, then stop here. So every time she brought up a point, she explained it. When she say the vocal variety and body gesture, she demonstrate very well, explained it very well. Thank you so much, assuming I'm impressed. Okay, but you see, I want to reiterate is the message. And always, to all the speakers, always remember this. When you write your speech, always ask yourself this why. Why do I want to talk about this topic? Why? You must answer this question first. Then we all can follow. Don't let the audience trying to figure out what are you trying to say. What are you trying to say? Okay, now my turn to give your evaluation to Rachel. Where's Rachel? Okay. Ray? Ray here. Ray, I would say that you did achieve the purpose, the objective. Why? This speech, you need to at least show that you have a good structure of the speech. That is basic. You have opening. I thought your opening was quite catchy, quite okay. And then at the end, you also have in conclusion, that was good. So you cover opening, body, and so this one was good. And I can see that you are also a natural speaker. You sit very comfortably, and then your hand gesture like that. Your vocal also quite conversational. Again, having said that, that means I suggest that you stand up. You stand up, you facilitate your vocal, your hand gesture, your body movement a little bit. If you watch those champion speakers, they like to zoom in and then zoom out. Like just now Xiuming said, that is also very good because for online, it's very limited. How are you going to show your movement, all those things, right? My suggestion to you is to strengthen your speech is the message again. I didn't get why do you want to talk about this? You didn't tell me though. I also cannot figure out why do you want to tell me about this. Is it because you believe in it so wholeheartedly, or you have been benefited to it and you got a big fortune, or what? What is your purpose? Why are you so excited to share with us? If you can tell us, oh, because of this feng shui, I won $1 million. Oh, I would immediately pay attention to you right now. Okay. Yeah, you have given a lot of examples, but the evidence part you will lack of. You didn't provide a lot of evidence. Yeah, you said this, then what? What is the purpose? What is the evidence for us to believe that this is going to work? You want to bring your personal experience, something you really see it by yourself, right? Especially on the your speech structure is quite jumping. When you start telling us what is this feng shui, how is it, all these things, and then suddenly you teach us within such a short time, teaching us from the birthday. So okay, I was not ready to learn something. I was just ready to listen to you. Overall, I think you did a good job by having this structure. I just, if you can work on your vocal variety a little bit, your vocal variety also not enough, and you can stand or facilitate your movement and hand gesture, all these things, I can tell you have good potential to be excellent speaker. But being an excellent speaker is not like just standing here and talk about. You need to really put in effort, pay attention to the feedback, and then work on it, and then be good about it. Okay? Good. Thank you. I enjoy your speech, so I learned a little bit from you. Now, get our tag team. Grammarian. Bagus, right? Bagus. Now your time to deliver your report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elysia. Okay, good job for all the speaker and the evaluator today. We have 3 people using the word of the day. First is Yiping. First is Esmond, and then Ray and Xiuming. So these 3 persons. And then during the speech, I heard quite a lot of good words, but I have a note on the improvement for this word, the type of zodiac. My suggestion is use the zodiac sign. So that is usually how the people say about the zodiac signs. So the type of zodiac is just repeating for that zodiac signs. Okay, and then there is a few talk or speech that I like most. First is from Yiping, when she said, "Hi, nice to meet you. What is your zodiac sign?" It's really spot on. I like it. And then the second is from Gray, when he say, "Feng Shui is how to sing with the universe, and then the universe sing with you." It's very well spoken. So good job for the speaker. Back to you, Toastmaster Elysia. Thank you.
Thank you. That's short and sweet. Actually, I like your introduction just now. You were saying you had 2 parts of your duties, the word of the day, and also the listening for. Well, here I would like to also elaborate a little bit. Most people thinking, oh, grammarian, my English is not good. I dare not to be grammarian. Actually, it's not this. This grammarian role is for us to practice listening skill. I don't care how good your English is. If you don't practice your listening skill, you won't be able to catch, to really pay on what are they saying. Don't worry about it. You listen, you report as much as you have listened, you have heard. Okay? Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite our art counter, Fion Teo. Over to you.
Hi, I will share my screen. This is what I record for the today Toastmaster Iping, No Amira, and Ray. And for them, for Iping, there is a 1-2 fire, and No Amira is 3 2 so, and there is a 1 repeat words. And Ray is a 1 so only. This for my today report.
Thank you. Wow, we all
Thank you.
doing very well so far. The timer Jack. Jack, you can skip those you have already given the report.
All right, thank you, Elysia.
No problem.
Right. Today we start on 12:07, and our president has welcoming address was in the requirement time, and the Toastmaster today's introduction also in the requirement time. Introduction of the technical rules. Yes, we're on 5:08, still within the time. The project speeches have been shared, so I will skip that. Come to evaluation, as Sanjeev and Elysia within the time, just to make it slightly longer, and there will be the reports of mine. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster Elysia.
Thank you. Well done. Now I will go right to my feedback for you all in order to, because we are running out of time. First of all, SA, I thought, Amira, you did a good job by going through the house rules. President, for this, I want to say that on this Toastmasters platform is for us to practice, to challenge ourselves, to have self-growth, right? Asmund, maybe you are not a person like me who will be jumping up and down and eliminator and all these things. But you know what? When I started, I wasn't like that also. That is why we need this platform. We need to challenge ourselves. We need to be a different self. We need to be a better self, right? Yes, in your president's speech, I suggest that you give more energy. Give more energy. It's not what you say, it's how you said it and how you really influence, uplift everyone, to warm up everyone. That is the job of the opening speech, right? The Toastmaster, as the role as a Toastmaster of the day, you talk about the background of Toastmasters. Sorry, one word that I must remind you, the pronunciation is not smelly, it's smelly, because that is very important, the name of our founder. That introduction was very, very short. That's okay, because today we don't really have a first-time guest, right? In terms of your explanation about why we don't have table topic session, that is good, because you cover it. We didn't have it and you cover it. That was good. Introduction of the rules, fair enough. What was missing is the part of the session where the members deliver speeches. That is the part you can elaborate a little bit. I see you still have time. You want to say, also take this time to urge the members, take advantage of this session. This is a session for you to practice public speaking, and pathway, you can explain a little bit what is pathways, and or encourage, you can prepare a few very interesting projects and then talk about how this project can really change you, make you gain a good skill. Then you will really help restore up the interest of the members. In terms of the agenda, I saw that it was good. You cover it on the notes where you prepare for the notes, the purpose, and for the evaluator and the general evaluator to read out. In fact, it's necessary. It is necessary for you to also put the same information on the part when you say speaker number one. You didn't put the pathways, you didn't put which path. In fact, you should put it there instead of that. Of course, you put both sides, that is perfect. But if I have to choose one side, either that or that, I certainly will put it there. For the agenda, when you introduce the speakers, what they do, or this thing, that is the part we really need to look for the information. I look at your agenda, your VPE is missing. I can understand that you might not be able to find the VPE for whatever reason, temporary or so, the VPE maybe resign. Nonetheless, VPE is a very important role. I suggest that there is the official way is, I see that your secretary and treasurers are two different people. You can put these two positions. These are the two official positions can be held by one person. You can get one person out and put it as a VPE. Even by name, you still need to fill it. I know it's VPE job is very challenging. It's not everyone dare to take up that challenge because it's very time consuming. And then as a president, you need to step in and help. So don't worry, I'll take half of your functional job and all these things, or help in so that you can ease that person. And the person knows that even though I take this job, but I'm not doing it all by myself, right? That is one suggestion. And you know, the first time I read the notes to the evaluator for the first speaker, you put the name there, and then you didn't change all the rest. So in that case, I suggest either you change it or make it all she, her, all these things, so that when I read it correctly. Otherwise, you just leave it as it is. You don't have to change anything because that is become general. I can just read it as they, there's fine, him, it's fine. Challenges and excitement. Yes, I want to talk about these challenges versus excitement. That's why I say when people come to this platform, come to this meeting, if you give a little challenge, you make this platform a little bit more challenging, people feel the challenge, they would more likely to come to the meeting because they feel the challenges can be very excited. Right, not members. If let's say you are very critical, very, very critical in the positive sense, not in the negative sense. I mean, you really point out every point that the speaker need to learn. Today's swimming was very, very, very into the detail, that she really covered all the detail. That was a very good evaluation. So we need this kind of evaluation to help members to really improve themselves. So don't worry about the speaker not being able to take it. It's a matter of how you say. If you say it in a way, make the speaker feel encouraging and feel comfortable, that is fine. And for them, they will get excited. They want to come back to learn more, to improve more, to challenge themselves. The guests, I'm not sure if you have reminded the guests yesterday. Usually what I would remind my guests, I resend the agenda to the guests the night before, make sure the guests notice. They say, okay, there's some update in my agenda. So in a way, politely remind the guests. Sometimes the guests might be also forgetting, right? So that is only one suggestion. Overall, I really enjoyed the meeting, although today the attendance is not high enough, but it's good. I enjoy it. All the speakers take the speech delivery seriously, and the evaluator also give good evaluations, and the role players all did a good job. Kudos to you. Back to you, our president and TMD.